morning Year 4 and welcome to Friday's writing lesson. So this is our final home learning writing lesson of the week and hopefully ever. So well done if you've stuck with me all this time and you've been watching the videos. I know lots of you have been sending in the work, you've been engaging in my challenge. It was lovely to see all of your pets that you sent into the email address. That was fantastic. So thank you very much for working so hard, and you've got yourselves ready for our learning on Monday when you return back to school. Now this lesson is going to be carrying on from yesterday. So yesterday I did tell you please don't go on to question 3 or question 4. We are on the Year 3 writing book and we started on page 12 and 13 yesterday where it says a day at the beach. I asked you to do section 1 and section 2. I want you to now start on section 3 and then the rest of this page with section 4 on there. Okay, so I'm going to go through and recap our learning question from yesterday because we are continuing the same learning today. Now before we start, we're going to do our final spag starter and get the ball rolling with today's learning. Okay, so let's have a look at my spelling. So I'm going to read the sentence to you. With my pink pen, I'm going to spot and correct my spelling mistakes. But your job at home is to look extra closely and see if you can work quicker than me by identifying the spelling mistake and correcting it yourself at home on some scrap paper, or you can just do it mentally in your head, that's also fine. So my sentence for today is, we are back at school on Monday. And we are back at school on Monday, aren't we? But one of my words there isn't spelt correctly, and it's a really important word. It's something that you'll be hearing a lot. You've heard it on the news a lot, and that's my spelling mistake. Can you spot my spelling mistake at home? Which one of those words has got a spelling error? What's not spelt correctly? We are back at school on Monday. I put a capital letter for Monday because it's the day of the week. It's the name of the day. Now my spelling error, if I get my pink pen out ready, is going to go here. It's put an SP. School is spelt incorrectly, isn't it? So you might want to zoom in on your devices to have a look how I've spelt it. But the correct spelling is S-C-H-O-O-L. And I missed that H out there, haven't I? So my correct spelling is school, and I've corrected that on my first bubble of the starter. Okay, now moving on to punctuation. So we know that I have to read through and identify where the missing punctuation needs to go in my sentence. So have a look or listen to where I need to stop. A smile is the prettiest thing you can wear. And that's one of our sand and rock sayings, isn't it? It's really important that we come to school, we are in a great mood, we are smiling, and smiling makes us happy. Can you spot where my missing punctuation is? Or maybe I've missed something that's really important that I've had to be reminding some people of on their home learning. I might have had to email you back and say, oh, don't forget that. Can you think what that might be? Now I'm going to put here FS. What does FS stand for? I think we know at home now, don't we? It stands for full stop. And I've missed a full stop at the end of my writing. Now I'm not going to put my full stop floating in the air. It goes on the line, sits on the line, so it's going to be at the bottom here. What else have I missed then? Because that's not the only mistake I've made on this sentence. A smile is the prettiest thing you can wear. And it's a capital letter, and I'm going to put CL. And when we see CL in pink pen in your books, it means, oh wait, you forgot your capital letter. And I'm going to go over my small lowercase a with an uppercase A. Okay, and that's how we should start that sentence. Well done if you already spotted that at home as well. I know some of you are really quick at recognising where my mistakes are. Now let's move on to my final bubble for our starter today, and that is for our grammar. And I want us to be thinking about tense again because that is our focus for yesterday and today. So can you identify which tense this sentence is written in? I'll read it to you. Think about, is it past, present or future? I kicked the ball into the goal. I kicked the ball into the goal. Has that already happened? Is it happening now, or is it happening soon? Is it going to be in the future? I kicked the ball into the goal. It is past tense, and there's a clue, isn't there? It's this ed at the end of my verb. Kick is the verb, but if we add ed on the end, it actually makes it past tense. Kicked is the past tense verb for kick. So well done if you also spotted that at home. Now let's have a look at what we are doing today. We are going to continue to correct the tenses in our writing, so let's just recap yesterday's learning. We were looking at the two basic tenses, which is past and present tense, and we also had a look at future tense. And it just shows the timing of an action. Has the action already been done? Is it going to happen, or is the action happening now? And that's how we determined whether we are past, present or future tense. So let's have a look at my two sentences on the board. What I want us to do is to transfer these from past tense to present tense, and that's something that you will be doing in your books today. So this will really help you for when you come on to do your learning independently. So I want you to read this sentence on the board. Brilliant. So bike riding was my favourite hobby. What's the word that I need to change then if I want to change it from past tense to present tense? Bike riding was my favourite hobby. Was is telling me that it's past tense. So I need to have a look at this word. How can I change this sentence into present tense, something that's now? I could put bike riding. No, I don't think the pen wants to work on this area. Bike riding is my favourite hobby. Well done if you spotted it at home. And make sure I put my full stop at the end. So I've changed this word here. Was is past tense. Changing it to is makes it present tense. Okay, let's have a look at my second sentence then. I read my book wherever I could. Okay, it could be that you've taken your book on holiday to you, or maybe to school. I read my book wherever I could. Okay, so I'm going to think about where I can change words to make them past to present. Now I want us to just focus on this word here. If I wanted to change this verb to present tense, read would be to read. Now the funny thing with this word is the spelling never changes. It's the same spelling so if it's past tense or if it's present tense. So we've got read, read. It would just be that you would pronounce it much differently. So rather than saying I read, you would say I read to make it present tense. I read my book wherever, or whenever, sorry. Now if we put could, that wouldn't make sense. I read my book wherever so we need to change the word could to present tense. Who knows what that is? If you know it at home, then you can write the whole sentence out for me, or you can say it out loud, but I need to change the word could from past to present tense. Okay, it's going to be can. And this sentence now reads in present tense. I read my book wherever I can. Well done if you spotted that at home. Now when you come into your books, you're going to have an extract of writing which has got missing gaps which you need to fill in. It's going to look very similar to this, and you are going to have a word bank at the bottom. Now these words are not in past tense, these are the verbs, okay, so they are in present tense. When you come to fill out the blanks, you need to make sure that these words are written in past tense. Okay, so let's have a look at ask. If it's past tense, it would be asked. Okay, jump would then turn to jumped. Hold would turn to held. Okay, so although the words are in there for you, when you come to put them into your extract, please make sure that you do put them into past tense. Okay, so I've done my own extract. It's not going to be the same one that's in your book because you need to do that yourselves. So I've got my own extract and we're going to do this together as a group, and this will gear you up ready for your learning today. I climbed on my trampoline and as high as I could to see over all the gardens. What is she going to do? What do you think it's going to be? I climbed onto my trampoline and something as high as I could. What are you going to do as high as you can on a trampoline? You're going to jump, aren't you? But remember, jump is not past tense. All of these words in the word bank are not past tense. We need to transfer them from their verb to past tense. So I'm going to put jumped. Okay. I climbed onto my trampoline and jumped as high as I could to see over all of the gardens. I something Max, next door's dog, and Maisie, my friend. Okay, I something Max and next door's dog and Maisie, my friend. What are you going to do? Have a look at home. Which one might it be? Is it going to be I held Max, I saw Max, I started Max, or I asked Max, next door's dog? Which one do you think fits the best? Well done if you spotted C, but we need to change that and transfer it to past tense. C would turn to saw, wouldn't it? I saw Max, next door's dog, and Maisie, my friend. Maisie came towards the fence and something onto the top. She peered over. What's she going to do to the top of the fence? She came towards the fence and something onto the top. What are you going to do if you want to peek over the fence? You're going to hold, aren't you? So the verb is hold. But I need to change this to past tense. What did we say the past tense form for the verb hold would be? Can you remember at home? It would be held, wouldn't it? So I'm going to put Maisie came towards the fence and held onto the top. She peered over and something my trampoline. What did she do? And saw my trampoline. Well done if you spotted that. So we've repeated this verb here. And saw my trampoline. She's something if she could come around to join me. What do you think is going to happen then? She's something if she could come and join me. She asked. Well done if you got that. So asked. Okay, so she asked if she could come around to join me. I went into the kitchen to ask Mum. Okay. So I haven't used all of the words in my word bank. Be careful, some of them aren't there just to trick you out. You might not need to use all of them, or like us, you might need to use them more than once. But let's read the extract now and double check. So remember, we need to proofread our work. We looked at that last week. We're going to check that all of this makes sense, and remember, it's all got to be in past tense. I climbed onto my trampoline and jumped as high as I could to see over all the gardens. I saw Max, next door's dog, and Maisie, my friend. Maisie came towards the fence and held onto the top. She peered over and saw my trampoline. She asked if she could come around to join me. I went into the kitchen to ask Mum. That is what you are going to be doing today. So in your workbooks, I want you to finish off section 3 and section 4 of your learning. Please send them into the Year 4 email address, and I will see you all on Monday. So this is our final piece of writing, the final push, and then we are back in school on Monday. And believe me, the Year 4 team have been working really hard, and we've got some really fun activities. So we can't wait to see you bright and early on Monday morning. Have a lovely weekend, and thank you so much for all of your work during the past few weeks of lockdown. It's been hard, but we've got through it, and we can't wait to see you. See you on Monday, guys.